Hello, everyone. Sorry, let me just adjust my stuff tonight. Hey, everyone. I'm sorry if you didn't catch me live. I know I started a little late tonight, but I am here and I have a lot of rewatch value tonight. We are both going to be talking about the winter solstice and doing a pick a card reading for that. And then we're going to do a little ritual here together. And then we're going to do some individual readings. And then we're going to talk about the new year. And I'm going to do another group reading for that and do another pick a card reading. And then we are going to do another ritual for that. So lots of stuff. We'll do individual readings after that as well. So I'm trying to pack in a lot. I thought I was going to be late, but yay! I know I'm super late, and I will say it's because I've been thoroughly enjoying my winter solstice, and I hope you guys have been as well. My dinner took a little bit longer to make tonight, and I was just enjoying the night. Already got kind of like a head start by enjoying some wine, some mead. We'll talk about that in a little bit with the rituals and the traditions that are associated with winter solstice. But that is why I'm late, but I feel like it's a good reason to be late when you're enjoying your night. All right. So for those of you who are catching the replay, check out the schedule. I now have a schedule down in the description and you can see when I'm going to be live next. I feel like it's not until, I think it's like the first week of January, I want to say. So that's why I'm packing in so much tonight, is because I wanted to cover the winter solstice. We just had a full moon, and then we are going to be coming up on the new year. So I'm cramming in a lot tonight. So there won't be as many individual readings, but there's going to be a lot more group stuff tonight. So if you're new here, please subscribe. Welcome. We do live readings every Tuesday night. And on Fridays, I upload new videos. And I think it's looking like this Friday is going to be a meditation video. So I'm really excited about that, especially because the meditation video that I'm going to be uploading is about showing you the way. When you don't know exactly which way you should be going, this is kind of like how to connect with your guides and do that. So I think this is actually going to be really good for the new year. I have to calm myself down. I was rushing and I'm realizing I'm out of breath. I'm whoa, okay, I'm here. My dinner took way too long to cook, so I'm oh no, this is supposed to be our fun night together. I'm so excited. I worried I missed tonight. Well, heck, it looks like it all happened for a reason. Maybe we all had stuff going on, and it was good that we were all late. And I heated up my shed in here, but now it's too hot. I'm dying. Hi, Aster. Welcome. All right. And let me set my timer for our member reading tonight. I have so much stuff in front of me for tonight. I'm going to make tonight a little bit more special, and I really want to do that more often, kind of starting next year, and kind of having these live nights have a little bit more, I don't know, either teaching or something specific that's going to happen behind them. So I'm going to set my timer. All right, and if you're a member, when this timer goes off, whoever comments closest to it is going to get a reading. And so tonight's outline, it's going to be a little bit different tonight. We're going to first talk about the winter solstice, kind of what it is, some rituals that you can do, either if you want to do that now, tonight with us. I've got some stuff here, or you can do it on your own time. It doesn't have to happen tonight. It can always happen a couple days on either side of a solstice or a full moon. And then I'm going to do a group reading. I've already pulled those cards. And then we're going to do some individual readings for a bit to kind of spread it out. And then we are going to talk about the new year and kind of how we can manifest and how we can set intentions. And the reason why I'm doing that is because we won't be together again until after the new year. So we're going to do another group reading with that. Lots of stuff jam-packed in tonight. And then we'll probably end again with individual readings. So that's kind of the outline. Happy winter solstice to everyone. Thank you, Marissa. But at least all of us are late. Hi, Adrienne. Good to see you. Thank you for commenting on all my videos. You guys are super helpful. There's somebody who found, I don't know if it was Adrienne or somebody else, but it's just reminding me that somebody found a really, really old video of mine and was commenting on it. And I was oh gosh, I forgot this video existed. Hey, Heidi. Welcome. All right. I don't have any announcements for tonight other than we will see you after the new year. So let's get into the winter solstice. So, winter solstice, this is actually the first seasonal, what are these called? These are actually celebrated a lot by pagans, and it's also something that was kind of celebrated before Christianity. This is something that has been around for a really long time. It has many names, and it's been celebrated by many people around the world. And you don't have to be a witch. You don't have to even believe in it to celebrate it. I really just like the symbology of it, and it's one of the first seasonal holidays that I actually celebrated without knowing about it. And at the very core of it, the winter solstice, it's the shortest day of the year. So we had the least amount of sunlight today that we will ever have in the year. And then after today, there's going to be more sunlight per day. So it's the darkest day, darkest night. And then after the winter solstice, everything just gets a lot brighter. And the kind of the whole symbology behind it is that this is the darkest night, and it's only going to get better from here. We're going to call back in the sun. We're going to call back we're going to call the light back into our lives. And that's kind of like the gist of it at the most like logical level. And a lot of different religions and beliefs have all these different beliefs around how it happens. And how it maybe stemmed into like Santa Claus, and so there's all sorts of stuff around it religiously. Again, I don't talk about that too much on my channel. There's a lot of other people that do. But some of the rituals that you can do to celebrate, the fact that this is the darkest time of the year and that we are welcoming the light back in, symbologically, goodness gracious. Symbolically, what is the word I'm looking for? I'm enjoying my night too much already. I can't find words. I'm so like hyper right now. Hello, Tia. And so basically we are going to think about, okay, we're going to let the dark go and we want to welcome the light back in. And so all the rituals that I'm going to just chat with you guys briefly about are something that you can do. And so one of the oldest traditions is actually the Yule log. And a lot of people think that this is actually like making a Yule log cake. But what people did back in, I want to say, I think it was the Germanic people, they would find a log and then they would put candles on the log and put it in their like hearth, their fireplace, and they would burn it for 12 days. And what they're doing is they're trying to welcome back the light and say, hey, light, come back. We need you. Back then, obviously they needed the light for crops. They didn't have a whole lot else going on. And so, they felt like they had to welcome that light back in. For us, it's more of a symbolic thing of, okay, what can we invite back into our life that is light, that is good. So with all these rituals, I kind of want you to think about, what do I want to invite back in that's good in my life? And what do I want to say goodbye to that's kind of in the dark? So the Yule log is one of the ways you can do that. You can decorate a fun Yule log and then basically burn it. You can burn it overnight. You can burn it over the course of a couple days. Let's see, I'm reading off my notes because there's so many things you can do during this time. A lot of things were decorated with both evergreen and holly, and that's where we get the wreath, of the Christmas wreath. A lot of these traditions were actually borrowed from, it wasn't called pagan at the time, it was kind of called the old religion, and it's kind of been taken from other religions and turned into various things. So it doesn't really matter what you believe in, it's more about what you resonate and what you want to do. So you can make a wreath. Let's see. At the very simplest level, what we're going to do tonight is basically write our intentions. Thank you, Yurika, symbolically. My brain is just like, I'm all over the place tonight. And I think it's like partly the full moon energy. I don't know about you guys. Tell me how your full moon went, because my full moon was intense. And normally I don't like pay attention to it or even realize it. But gosh, there was just like so much going on with the full moon, which was that last night or the night before? The night before, so 2 nights ago. But one of the simplest things you can do for any ritual, solstice, full moon, New Year, even if you want to set intentions for your birthday, just get a piece of paper, write out what you want to release, what you want to attract, and then you can burn it. And that's what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to do it tonight specifically with bay leaves, just because that's something that you can do for the winter solstice, and I thought it was fun, and we can do something different tonight. So it doesn't have to be this like huge thing, especially if you don't have anything planned out. Let's see, using red candles, which I thought I had one tonight, and that's actually what I was going to go with, but I don't have a red candle tonight. That is symbolic for Yule, but I have a gray candle tonight. We're going to use that. And let's see, you can do simmer pots, obviously. Aromatherapy, blending kind of the herbs and the smells of this season is something else you can do. A lot of this I have shared on my Instagram stories. So if you're like, oh, I want more, it's up there, but I just didn't want to go into crazy detail with it tonight in case some of you guys are just not interested and you want to jump into the readings. One thing I saw today too, you can combine cinnamon sticks, which you can get from the grocery store, and then pine, which if you're around a lot of pine trees, I am here in Colorado, you can kind of make your own sage bundle of cinnamon and pine. So you can make your own smudge stick. And then I think the last big thing, two big things. Obviously decorating the tree. That was huge back then. It's huge now. It's kind of like a Christmas thing, but doing that, decorating your tree, also putting out, like things for animals to eat, as long as they're safe for those animals. Like you could put out oranges with seeds in it. Doing that to kind of bring more light in to feed those people, the animals in the darkest hour, is something that you can absolutely do during Yule. And then the last thing, and I have done this, I want to say twice, and I feel like I never see it on Instagram. I never see it anywhere, but it's actually doing like a Yule spiral. And so the spiral, I wish I had it with me, is an old Celtic symbol. I don't want to say it's necessarily inherently Celtic, but what you do is you go out into the fields and you like make a huge spiral, like big, so that you can walk through it. You make it with pine, you make it with holly, like all the things that I've been talking about, logs, and you make a big spiral kind of out in a field, out in a forest. And then what you want to do is you want to walk through the center of the spiral. You carry a candle, and then you kind of place a candle in the center. And while you're doing this, you're thinking about, again, what do you want to release? What is that darkness that you want to release? And what is the light that you want to welcome in? And if you want to see this, I actually did this last year at a really cool Airbnb called Milo Farm. So it's about a year ago, there's a video up of that. So that's something you can do if you have the luxury. I honestly wouldn't do it unless you have a lot of people helping you create that spiral. But it's something to think about maybe for next year. It was the Gemini full moon. Full moons are intense. Yeah, geez, normally I don't like feel them, but this last one was just intense. And I've heard that from a lot of people. Okay, so I think that's all the rituals that I could think of. Again, I know I'm like rushing this, but I just wanted to kind of give it in case people weren't super interested. I'm trying to like teach you guys a little bit during these lives, but tell me if that's not what you're interested in. And then let's see. So what we are going to do tonight, and we're going to just jump into this ritual now, is we are going to, again, think about some things that we want to release, and I'm going to write them on this paper, and I'm just going to burn like this communal candle for us, and I'm going to set the intention that we are going to do that. We are going to talk about the things that we want to release. I'm going to burn them for you guys, and I'm going to keep my candle lit for the rest of the night to kind of like help us combine this energy, because sometimes in a group, it's way more helpful to do that. So you don't have to share, but if you want to throw up anything that you want to release or anything that you want to welcome in. Again, this is a little bit of both, because this is the darkest night of the year. But at the same time, it's like we're welcoming in the light again. And I'm like super bright, so I'm going to back this up. So if you have anything that you want to release, throw it up in the comments. I'm going to do this. If you don't have time to do this right now, you can do this on your own. I'm probably going to do it a little bit more on my own after this, but I'm just going to throw out some general ones as a group, and I will go ahead and burn this candle for us. So things that we want to release, things that we want to invite in. Hey, Jana. Let's see. And I'm just going to, again, do it more general for the group tonight. So I am going to ask for more clarity for the group, especially in regards to your intuition. We want to invite that in with the light. And literally, I just have that written down. Very simple. We're just walking through this tonight just to show you how simple this can be. And I will say, at the start of next year, I'm going to have a video on just like basic candle rituals so that you feel like anytime there's like a ritual or a special night coming up, you at least have the basics of just doing like a very simple candle ritual. So I'm going to go through this more in depth as soon as my purpose in saying that. So kind of have it ripped up. And I am going to go ahead and light our candle. And I just kind of go where I'm guided with these. And I think that, sometimes you don't have all the time in the world to plan these things out. So I am going to just improvise right now. But I'm going to set the intention that this candle is for everyone watching live or everyone watching replay tonight. And and here's my little candle right here. And I am going to say that with this winter solstice, we are releasing things, welcoming things in. So anything that we burn here tonight safely, we release to you guides to help us manifest. All right. So I'm going to start that, let it burn. Also write out anything else. Okay. Releasing childhood trauma, welcoming healing. You are not too late. I started very late tonight. I've only been on like 15 minutes tonight. Right now, we're at least talking about the winter solstice. We're doing just a quick group ritual for releasing things that we want. So I'm going to open my bay leaves. These are brand new, so I need to take off the seal here. And let's tell our guides to help Lauren not burn down her she shed. I've got a bowl, so I'm very safe. Fear around abundance and welcome in more gratitude. Absolutely. So I'm just gonna say fear in general. I'm using a Sharpie on this bay leaf. Oh my gosh, and he smells so good. And even if I miss some of your guys's, so I'm kind of burning this now. Whoa! Can you hear that crackling? That's crazy. That's also why I wanted to use the bay leaves, is I saw somebody else do this. Lots of crackling. Ooh, and it smells delicious. You don't have to use bay leaves, but you can also use paper. So I did write down fear. As a group, we want to release that for this winter solstice. Let's see. Healing was a good one, so I might just do that on a bay leaf as well. Healing. And again, if you guys don't feel like you're prepared, you can do this on your own time. But I'm going to keep this burning through. Oh my God, I'm a little scared. I've never done the bay leaves before. Gosh, they're so dry that I think that's so satisfying now to hear the crackling. All right. So we want to welcome in healing. Is there anything else? I want to also welcome in abundance for us, abundance for this year. And I will say I've been editing my video for the new year. That is a pick a card reading. And I think it's going to be a good year for a lot of us. You guys will have to watch that. So I'm writing down abundance. I wish I had another camera so you guys could see this, but I've got a bowl. I got a candle here. Just know my intention is set. Wow! This could be dangerous. All right. So this was my intention of clarity and intuition for a lot of us, because I know that's what a lot of you guys come to my channel for. Youch. Goodness gracious. I will say the clarity and intuition just burned up like that. The fear is still working on it. We're still working on it. But the rest of them burned up really fast. And again, even if I miss some tonight, you guys can do this on your own. You can do this in a fire if you don't feel comfortable with it. You can also put it in water too. I saw that in Japan at a few shrines, which was really cool. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone else. Welcoming healing. I'm just going to set the intention of childhood trauma for everyone else. And I'm being guided to sort of use Reiki in this as well. And I've always kind of done that with my rituals, putting your hands around it, sending the intentions, Reiki energy. And so honestly, childhood trauma for us, it affects everyone. Nobody doesn't have that. Everyone has childhood trauma. So we're absolutely going to release that if we can. I shouldn't poke this with my finger. Gosh, I feel like, and kind of what you can do with these rituals is you can watch how things burn, how quickly they happen. I will say this candle is pretty slow and steady. So that means to me that, you know, this winter solstice energy might be a little bit slow, but at least it's firm and strong. It's not like the candle flame blew out or anything like that. And again, the things we wanted to release like burned up quickly, but the things that we wanted to attract are having a little bit harder of a time. And what you can do is you can just pull these back out. So this is kind of our bay leaf for healing. Just going to relight that and throw it back in. It's okay to totally like encourage it to do that. I'm a little scared. Let's see. Abundance. Ooh, gratitude is another good word. I'm going to write down gratitude. Releasing fear around money. Yes, I second that. I'm going to just kind of keep that around abundance, which we had in here. Let's see. Financial abundance, all type of love and abundance. Release overthinking. Okay. Laughter and happiness. We saw the flyer. Fire, the flame must be huge. I'm just trying not to light my shisha on fire. Woo! I've got it in a bowl, so it's safe. But yeah, that flame is definitely kind of like slow and steady. Gosh, but yeah. So gratitude just like lit right up. I feel like to me, intuitively, that feels like gratitude is just at our fingertips. We've got no problem with that. I feel like fear is kind of going away a little bit more. Hey, Kathleen! Release overthinking. So I'm going to also set the intention here that anything that anyone is throwing at me in the chat that I might be missing or writing on a piece of paper is still in here. We are either releasing that or welcoming it in. Welcoming in laughter, happiness. You know, I love that. I'm going to just put on this bay leaf because that's a big one for me next year is just optimism. Optimism. You know what? I'll put joy. Joy, laughter, happiness, optimism. Yes, me too. Laughter and happiness, please. All right, we're going to light this one. Oh my gosh, can you guys hear that? And you know, the intention behind this is just we're releasing it. We're saying, hey, guys, when we see this kind of smoke go up, it's being released to the universe. We're letting it go. We're assuming that it's going to be ours. Hey, Michael. The longer it takes to burn is because there's more energy to work with there. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Maybe sometimes I feel like it's because there's like a struggle there. It might be harder for us to like manifest that than we thought. Um, you're reading the candle. That's awesome. Yeah, and I'm going to talk about that in that candle video that's coming up. I will say too, though, because I'm putting all the positive stuff on the bay leaves and all the negative stuff on the paper, and the paper is just gone, and the bay is still kind of here. Joy to the world. We hear and see that flame. All right, so I'm just going to say anything also that anyone in the replay wants to throw into this intention bowl. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm just being very called to do the Reiki tonight. I don't know why, but gosh, this smells really good though. Hello, Sarah. Thank you for popping in. We are doing a little ritual here. You can't really see it. I've got my safety bowl. Let's see. But for winter solstice, I just want to, again, with that joy, with that healing, I'm just sort of saying a last intention of we want to just bring in happiness again. Let's bring in the light, especially after all that we've been through with 2020, 2021. You know what? I'm just going to write that on a piece of paper. I'm just going to say the negative of 2020 and 2021. We are letting that go. Because you know what? We're not waiting for 2022 to make that happen. We're going to release it now. And I did hear from some astrologers that this winter solstice is just as powerful as the new year. Ooh, that burned right up. All right, we definitely are letting go of 2020 and 2021 big time. But I've heard from a lot of like astrologers, take it with a grain of salt, that this time is almost more important, winter solstice, than the new year, actually, for releasing things and welcoming them in. So I'm going to set this intention bowl off to the side. I will deal with it after the stream and just make sure that I kind of spend a little bit more time with it to release it. It is still going strong. I'll let you guys know, and I'll keep you posted. I'm just going to set it over here. But if you ever have anything you want to release, just focus on that bowl, focus on that candle and that light, and throw something else energetically at it. I'm setting the intention that even if you don't throw it up in the chat, that you will be heard and the universe will hear what you have to say. So that is honestly super fast for a ritual. If I were doing this just for myself, I would write out every single thing that I would want to release and burn it one by one. And then what you want to do is take those ashes and either throw them into a body of water. If you don't live near one, you can also throw it down the sink, or you can just go kind of spread it out into the wind. So rituals do not have to be super complex, you guys. They can be super easy. By 2021. Yes, I think 2022 is, I just feel it. I don't want to spoil my pick a card reading, but all of those piles I felt like were good stuff. So that will come out not this Friday, but next Friday. So keep an eye out for that. I'm in the middle of editing it as we speak. So let's get into the pick a card for the winter solstice specifically. So that was our candle ritual. It is still just like, it's a very tall flame, very steady, but it's just like, it's melting very slowly. So this to me is kind of saying that we might need to push it along a little bit. We might not necessarily believe that we can do it. We might be hoping that the universe is going to clean all of this up for us. So anything that you can do to further set your intention that you do believe in those things manifesting or being released would be really good. And that's exactly what we're going to get into with these cards. So I have pile 1, pile 2, and pile. So take a second, ask, hey guys, which pile is for me for this winter solstice? What do I need to know? I'll just shut up for a second so you guys can connect. Pile 2, pile 3. Oh, yay. Thank you, Jana. Heck yes, Yurika. Yes. I'll take it. 3, pile 2. All right. So let me start with pile 1. And we're going to do this again for the new year. We got a lot going on tonight. Okay. So pile number 1. And I think I asked, what is the energy of the winter solstice? Like, where do you kind of need to sit in this energy? And I pulled the Hermit. I've been practicing a lot with my tarot cards recently, so I know you guys are getting a lot of tarot. And the Hermit is about somebody who just needs to like retreat, get away from everybody. That might be hard with the holidays. But the Hermit is somebody who just kind of stays away from everyone and really goes within and finds that hope, finds that joy, finds that optimism. That's kind of represented here with the lantern. So you guys with the winter solstice, just think about it the next couple of days. Like, how can I really connect inwardly with myself? How can I withdraw from everything and kind of connect to that guidance from myself, but also from source, whoever you believe in. And how you can kind of work with this energy, which is very interesting to me. This is Virgo energy. This is assess the situation, first quarter moon in Virgo. And to me, what I'm feeling like with this card is like just being very practical about this. Like sometimes when we think about the Hermit, we're like, oh, I need to go in and I need to meditate and I need to meditate for 20 hours and connect with my guides. But when it's coming from a more Virgo energy, I actually feel like this is like, you know what? No, I need to just, sit back, still the same energy of withdrawing, but actually just looking at everything in your life analytically. Moving into next year, what do I need to release? What do I need to invite in? What are my goals? This is like, again, very analytical energy, very pros and cons. It's very mental versus spiritual of how can I look at this time that's been happening recently and, what's coming up for me and how can I move forward in a very analytic way. So to me, this is just being very calculated, like writing out lists, just actually putting pen to paper, I feel like is more the energy versus like just meditating and like trying to clear your mind, if that makes sense. So pile number 1 for you with the winter solstice, there's something about retreating and being very analytical about your life right now that's important to move into the new year. So pile 2, oh my gosh, you guys. Pile number 2. So this is the 4 of Cups. And this is actually saying that you're pretty stable right now. And the universe might be trying to hand you gifts. They might be trying to hand you intuitive hits. I'm even hearing just like gifts from the universe. And you can kind of see it with this like hand coming out of the clouds with the cup. And this guy's just like totally not even aware. So to me, this is saying you have abundance around you, but you're not quite seeing it. So maybe the winter solstice for you guys is just about stepping into the energy of gratitude more and actually taking stock of like, what do I have? What what are the successes that I've had? What are the good things that I've had? And I'm laughing because all of my notes for tonight, I think are totally channeling this because I wrote down like, reflect on your successes of this year. And I think that's what you guys are doing, pile number 2. I feel like you guys are focused a little bit on what you don't have. And the universe is trying to say, hey, you have some really good stuff. Remember to accept what's here and be grateful for it so that you can attract more. Interesting. We got the other Virgo card in this. This is the full moon in Virgo. Take inspired action. And I feel like with this, it's almost... Whereas like pile number 1 needs to kind of retreat and think and reassess the situation. Pile number 2, I feel like you guys need to be like, you know what? I have all these amazing things. I have all these great things in my life and I just need to actually like choose something and go with it. And I'm getting to, if you need to wait till the new year, if you want to take a break, you absolutely can. But this is almost saying like you have everything. Like, what are you waiting for is kind of the energy. And I feel like maybe just for a few of you, there's just been a lot of stagnation. And this winter solstice is actually calling on you to take action on some of the things that you've been like ruminating over. I feel like a lot of you guys have just been kind of going in circles a little bit. And it's almost like if you were stuck in like pile number one's energy for like way too long. Do something. It's okay. Again, I feel like that's just some of you, not necessarily all of you. The Hermit is the Virgo card. Oh, is he? I didn't know that. I'm still learning, but I'm learning through practice. 2 Virgo cards in one reading. Yes. Which kind of makes sense because we're in Capricorn season as of tonight. So that's very like earthy, stable energy. Let's see. I was about to say that you're double the Virgo. 2 is accurate for me too. Virgo moon. All right. So pile number 3. Whoa, goodness. Pile number 3. Okay. So you guys, what is happening with the solstice? You guys are just juggling a crap ton. I actually feel like this is me and this is my pile. Oh, I can't say that out loud or else I'll get demonetized. I was about to say something about his hat being very phallic shaped and how my husband and I joke about him having a hat. But that's why I always think when I see this card. That's inappropriate. I apologize. But the 2 of Pentacles is this interesting balance of you guys are stable, but at the same time, there's like rocky waters. You're kind of trying to balance 2 different things. You're doing it, but you're also like far. And so this card is very much like rocky energy, but you've got it. You can handle it. And so the winter solstice is, I'm literally hearing from your guides. They're just like, just get through the next couple days and you're going to be good. And that works perfectly with, these are the Moonology cards that I just got last week. And this is breathe through the tension. Full moon in Scorpio. So I actually feel like you guys are probably very emotional right now with the winter solstice. Again, I think it's just because you're juggling so much. And the Pentacles are about like practical things. Honestly, I'm just seeing this as like you guys have a lot of plans. You got a lot going on. Like it totally makes sense. This is the Christmas. And so it's important for you guys to just, sometimes you can't get rid of the chaos. Sometimes you can't get rid of the crazy plans, but what you can do is breathe through it. What you can do is find those moments to center yourself and still schedule in, heck, even like 5 minutes of your day to just breathe and calm down, which is what I feel like I need to do. Like, so go today. And I feel like that energy is coming into this reading. So you guys, I absolutely feel like you're juggling a lot. It's going to be a little bit better. Just try to remember to breathe tough parts. There's times in life where you just can't control that you have a lot on your plate, but what you can control is adding in a little bit of time for yourself to breathe. So you guys, I feel like that's the important thing. I honestly feel like for pile 3, you guys are going to see this kind of wane out by the end of the week. Me. To you this year, Sarah? I know Sarah, so I want to ask. I'm going to be there on Saturday. Maybe, I don't know if we'll see each other, but hopefully. All right. So that is kind of the winter solstice energy for tonight. Did I cover everything I wanted to cover? I hope that wasn't too quick. I think I was being too quick. I apologize. But I want to do a little bit of individual readings. And then we will talk about the new year. So I just kind of want to just space it out a little bit. And we'll kind of talk about the new year because, again, I am not going to be live again until after the new year. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the astrology of said new year, including this Moonology diary that I've got. And that is my timer. So whoever is a member, I feel like it's always Eureka. You get the reading tonight. You can start us off for individual readings if you have a question. let me know. That was our timer for the memberships. Not this year for me. No worries. Totally get it. All right. So that was like perfect timing. Holy cow. So Yurika, let me know if you have a question. We're going to open it up to individual readings for a bit, and then we'll get into the new year. I will say our candle is about halfway gone from where it was before. You probably can't see it very well in my bowl. Very slow. I'm just actually going to pull a card really quick on like if there's anything I'm missing about it being super slow. I'm hearing that we're distracted by a lot of what's going on to the sea. So that card is about we're being a little bit like adrift. We're just letting things happen to us instead of taking action. And again, I think that's totally okay during this season. You know, winter is about hibernating. It's about not doing things. I think sometimes in life you have to not just go, go, go. Again, I feel like that was a different message for pile number 2. But I think why this is happening a little bit slower is because we're trying not to just be so like crazy about it. We're just letting the universe take us where we need to go. That's cool. I'm glad I asked. So I think that's why that candle is burning a little bit slower. Thank you, Erica. Yes, I'll think of a question. I literally had a dream about this the other night watching you do a live. I mean, that's cool, Sarah. That's so funny. I had a dream last night about a friend, and I've been very paranoid about it because in that dream, that friend died, and I've been very concerned about him all day. So I totally understand those. I feel like when you have a lot of precognitive dreams, you start to worry, you know, that all your dreams are precognitive. Have a good night. Thank you, Sarah. All right. So, Erica, I'll jump to you first. And Erica, whenever you think of a question, we will get to you. Okay. What does Spirit advise to focus on for the next weeks when I got more free time than usual and not that busy with family this time? Oh, I'm jealous. I've been like literally thinking of like next year, just not doing any family stuff and just being like, we're going on vacation, peace. Kind of wanted that energy for this year. And now I'm regretting it. But you just got the Moonology deck too? Yes. Honestly, it's the prettiest deck that I own. It's a little small, but I think it's helpful for learning astrology. Okay. Erica, I'm curious which one of those piles you picked. So I'm asking... Okay. Because I feel like this is the energy of... This is, again, very Virgo energy. Ooh, fun. Okay. So it's interesting because these two cards that I pulled for you, Erica, one is the Thinker and one is by the Book. And this to me is just, again, that very analytical energy of like sitting down, thinking about all the things that you might want to manifest, thinking about all the things you want to do. Like, I still feel like this is in relation to like goals, dreams, things that you want to approach for next year, especially because you have that free time. And then the by the book card is just, it's saying, again, being by the book, I feel like the energy is more like analytical. I need a better word for it. It's very Virgo. It's thinking about like the exact steps that you want to do. Like, here's the end goal, and here's like the middle goal, and here's all the tiny goals that I'm going to hit in between. And then it's interesting because I pulled Full Moon in Leo, Go Wild, which is almost like the opposite energy. And so I'm asking your guides kind of what this means. And I actually feel like it's like, do this first, like set a plan and then forget about the plan. And I feel like there's something about that is actually going to help you manifest the things that you want. It's almost like okay, I know the plan is there. I know my thoughts are there on a piece of paper if I need to come back to them. Those are my goals, but I'm going to release them and not worry about them. And I'm just going to follow my heart and follow like what I desire and follow the energy of just going for it, going wild, being led intuitively in the moment. And then I think it's almost like you have the structure set in place, but then you're following your intuition and your heart more. And I'm getting this like this balance of like Erica kind of needs to have the structure there so that she can feel safe. And then she just needs to go crazy with it and not stick to any rules. I just want to pull one more card. And I just want to ask, like, what's the purpose of doing this? And it's going to bring you new ideas, and you're going to just have a lot of faster action than if you were to do the opposite of just like sitting, contemplating, ruminating on it. So I think it's actually going to bring you a lot of new fun ideas. And I'm getting that's with anything, it could be about your relationships. It could be about work, money. It kind of is touching on every area of your life, but they're almost like saying to me, you have so much free time, like, take this as a blessing to really just sit with yourself, think about these things, set it to the side, and then just go for it. Hello, Zachary. Hey, Saint. So kind of what we're doing for now, if anyone donates, I get to them first. And then, goodness, this smoke from this candle is a little much. And then if there's nobody donating, we do guessing games. Hey, Terrelyn. Thank you guys for joining me on your winter solstice. Let me know what you guys are doing for your winter solstice. Are you guys doing anything fun? Have you already done something? Any advice from my guides for how I can get through the rest of December? Heck yes. Let's get to Marissa, and I'll try to keep this a little bit limited before we jump into New Year's stuff. Of course. Thanks, Erica. All right. Okay. Oh, goodness. All the major arcana cards. Oh, my gosh. Okay. You got 3 major arcana cards, Marissa. So we got the Moon, the High Priestess, and Strength. This to me is just flat out saying, like, you got it. You can handle it. Let me go through it, though, because the Moon is sometimes about, like, illusions. Like, where are we falling prey to illusions, either from other people or from ourselves? Like, maybe this time of the year is hard because you're trying to live up to other people's expectations. Maybe you're wearing a mask. Maybe you're putting out something. Thank you, Terrelyn. Maybe you're putting out energy that's not true to you. And because of that, it makes it a little bit more of a struggle. So the Moon is about making sure that you're really connecting to yourself and your, like, what you actually want to be doing. Like, make sure that everything that you've got on your schedule is actually something that you want to do. And I think if you lean more into that instead of like, what does everyone else want me to do? What does everyone else want me to be? I think it's going to be a lot easier. The High Priestess it's kind of similar to the Moon in a lot of ways. She's even got a moon down here below her. And this is somebody who kind of, it's almost like the gateway to intuition. And I can't remember what the B and the J stand for. But the High Priestess is somebody who's connected with her intuition and really is kind of setting boundaries of it, of like, you know what? I got this intuitive feeling. I'm going to go with it and respect it instead of just ignore it. And she kind of doesn't let anybody pass these boundaries that can't like uphold that energy, if that makes sense. And I kind of feel like this is like the energy that you need to have with yourself and the other people around you. And to me, this is like, I know I keep saying intuition, but it feels like, again, it's like, what are you sacrificing to make everyone else happy? And what is it that you actually want out of the rest of the year? And how can you put up those boundaries and be like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm good. And it's all around your strength. The strength is the third card that I pulled. And this is saying that you can do it. Like for some reason in your mind, you might actually feel like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can set those boundaries. I feel like, I don't know if this is literally that you have family members who are like, you need to show up, you need to do this. B&J, severity and mercy. Ooh, thank you. I feel like my teacher taught me in a different way, but that doesn't mean you're wrong at all. There's so many different interpretations of these cards. Again, my thoughts are going somewhere dirty. And also there's drinks called BJ's. Have you guys seen those? They're really crappy. I had them in high school because they're like, you could get them at the grocery store. And they're just god awful. They taste awful. Anyway, sorry, Marissa. And this is basically saying you have the inner strength. Like, look at this woman. She's freaking taming a lion. And this is saying you have that ability. You can handle this. You can set those boundaries. I question if a lot of this is just you trying to like people please, if that makes sense. Denial and beginning. Oh, that would make sense with the moon, just kind of like denying the things that you actually want versus, how do I actually want to approach, the rest of my year? Okay, and since you donated a little bit more, I'll just pull a few more cards. Anything else for how she can get through the rest of December? I'm going to actually ask, how can you manage this energy? Be brave. Come to the edge. This is really about, coming to the edge of a cliff and being like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to trust my strength. And then also mentally just feeling like that you can break out of this round and round circle. When this card comes up, it's very much about your thinking of oh, I'm just going in the same places all the time and I just never can get away from this. But this card really encourages you to get out of that thinking and into, you know what? No, I'm coming at this from a new perspective. I can handle this. I can do something different here. And it's a new opportunity for me to try something new. And I have more resources than I did last time. So, I can handle it and I can step up and be better this time around. And one last card for Marissa. Take a breather. And that makes sense because sometimes if you're just not giving yourself that space to actually be like, what do I want? What do I want to focus on? Where do I need to find more of that strength and bravery? Then sometimes you just don't know where to start or how to start. And especially because it's the last quarter moon in Cancer, this is about closing out a chapter. Again, with this round and round card, it's saying what can we close out? What can we release? And be like, no, I'm not stuck. I'm moving forward, especially in regards to emotions with Cancer. These cards are so pretty. I'm hyper tonight. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. I'm looking for a new part-time job to support. Okay, so thank you, Tara Lynn. I'm going to get to Yurika really quick because she did get our member reading. So I'm going to do Yurika, Tara Lynn, and then probably one more reading before we jump into just switching into the New Year information. And then we'll do quite a bit more individual readings after that, just for those who are sticking around for the New Year stuff. Oh my goodness. This energy is chaotic. I think it's the full moon. The full moon is still leaking off on me. I don't know about you guys, but I saw so much drama. I was talking to somebody else about this, thankfully not with me, but drama between a bunch of other people, and I'm just witnessing it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. That's what happened with the full moon with me. All right, so Yurika, really quick. I am looking for a new part-time job to support my self-employment work. What do I need to know about this? Let's pull the tarot because I feel like the tarot has just been such an awesome tool. I will say, you guys, that the pick a card reading that I did is 80% tarot. And I'm going to celebrate my success and say I'm pretty freaking proud that I could do a whole reading with tarot cards. That is new for me in the sense of like memorize, not just like intuitively reading them. Oh, Eureka. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay. Gosh, it should be something fun, Eureka. So this is the Four of Wands, and Wands is all about passion and, you know, the love of the things that you're doing, you know, not doing something because you hate it, which can be a tall order, especially when you're just looking for a part-time job. But look for something that genuinely makes you happy, and feels stable at the same time. I'm kind of feeling like it's like a yeah, duh. But I feel like the bigger message here that's coming through is like, you can find this in a part-time job. You can find this. And one of the other things about this card is there's actually a lot of people in it celebrating together. So I would not shy away from the fact that, you know, you might need to take a part-time job with other people. I feel like you can handle it. And we got a major arcana card for you, Eureka. And I know this isn't exactly telling you like what it is, but this is saying like you are really coming to a closure of a chapter with this. Because the World card is, I think it's the very last major arcana card, right? Unless I'm totally forgetting something. I feel like I'm forgetting something. No, 21 cards. Yeah. And so this is saying like literally all of your opportunities, you've thought them through, you did the research, you kind of put in all the time and energy, and something kind of came to fruition. And this is saying like the World card to me, I honestly feel like it's like the end of something. Like it's fulfillment, it's completion, but then it's also this welcoming in of a new chapter. It's like because we finally came to the end of this, we can actually invite in new energy, which probably is that energy of, you know, your self-employment. So this is a really good sign of like you're close to the end of having to do all of this, is really how I feel about it. Like soon this won't have to be a thing anymore of like part-time jobs. You know, you're really on the track of, you know, manifesting that end goal, that end dream that you want. And then the last card that I pulled for you is the Five of Wands, and there might just be a little bit of conflict with those people, you know, that we talked about with this card, but it's also saying that like you can handle it. Because I feel like if these cards are both coming up together, I feel like it's saying, you know, you might have to work with other people. It might be difficult, but there's probably lessons in that you need to learn about your own inner strength. Honestly, I feel really good about those cards. And I'll pull one more for thanking you for being a member. Relax. Oh, and Cancer, new moon in Cancer. To me, this is kind of a new phase, welcoming in new energy. So shifting into the energy of trusting that you're coming to an end with this. You know, you're really doing this, you know, because you need to. And it's going to be good for you. It's going to teach you lessons, but you're going to know when to leave. You can relax because you know it's going to be, I don't want to say divinely guided as much as it's not taking you off track. So it's like, it's knowing that no matter what, you're going to benefit from it. I think that's the energy that I'm getting. And when you can relax in that energy, it takes away all the negativity around it. And that might actually help you figure out what that job is a little bit easier. That's such a pretty card. I think that's honestly one of my favorites. I like how simple it is. All right. How late am I? Not very late. I started late tonight. And this candle is still going. There's just a little nub of it left. All right, so we have Terilyn, and then I think we are doing, did I say one more reading? And then we're going to jump into the new year. So unless somebody donates, that reading might be up for our free guessing game for those who asked. So Terilyn, you're warming up leftover gamja tank. What's that, Jana? Is that like, I assume it's Korean? Tell me. I'm all about trying new food, you guys. I will try anything that's new. I love it. I've even developed a taste for kimchi, which I feel like for an American is pretty advanced. It's probably not, but hey, silly rabbit. The pigtails are back. The pigtails are here when I have a bad hair day. It's as simple as that. Relax, I needed that. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you to your guides. I am just the messenger of the information. I love that you guys always comment on my pigtails because it's such a funny thing for me because I always feel like, oh, I look like I'm 12. And I've always had this like self-conscious thing about wearing pigtails or ponytails because I'm always like, oh, I look too young or I don't look good. And it's funny that I get more compliments when I do. And it must be something about me actually feeling my energy more. And they must be a match to my energy. Kimchi is so good. It is. It's like a spicy beef soup with potatoes. Ooh, that sounds yummy. But it's cute. Thank you, guys. All right. Sorry, Tara Lynn. Can I just get a general reading? Thanks. Yes. All right. General reading. Anything that Tara Lynn needs to know. Tara Lynn, I got bam, big time, like pay attention to your dreams. Queen of Cups. Ooh, okay. So right now, your guides are just wanting you to focus on the Queen of Cups is kind of like doing the inner work, especially around your emotions. And when we got the 10 of Cups, it's kind of like, what do you want out of life? Like, what is the end goal? What is your ideal vision of happiness and success right now? And it's kind of saying like, hey, what is your intention? Because, maybe it's not clear, or maybe you just need to kind of come back to it and remind yourself of like, why am I doing all of this? Why am I doing everything that I do? Your end goal might not be this happy family with like a husband and children. Maybe it is, but what is kind of the end goal? And they want you to remember it and then kind of do the inner work around like, why am I not there? Or, not necessarily, there's not any judgment about not being there, but it's about doing the inner work of like, how can I get back on track? How can I further manifest that? How can I follow that goal and kind of set intentions to get there? Because I'm just kind of overall getting this general sense of like, you've gotten distracted by a lot of things and that's okay, but just what is that intention? Like what's driving you forward? And if that's not clear, sometimes it can manifest in ways that you don't want it to. Interesting. And then I got the first quarter moon in Libra. Keep your heart open. It's a lot like heart energy, like emotions. Cups are literally about heart and emotions. To me, actually, I kind of feel like this is saying like there might be a lot of like self-depreciating thoughts of like, I can't have this, I'm not good enough for this. And like, where are your emotions at? And how are they affecting this like vision that you might be having? Because maybe you've closed off your heart a little bit to it because you're saying, oh, I don't deserve it, or it's not going to happen for me. And, again, the Queen of Cups is just about going inwards and asking yourself, like, what are the thoughts behind this? Like, what's going on in my mind? And what is the inner work that needs to be done around these thoughts? And I think the kind of big intention here is just to find the harmony within your thoughts. There's just kind of like a dissonance there. And that's kind of what I get with the Libra of this card. I'm just asking if there's anything else. I feel like yours was just so like simple and straight to the point. I'm just going to ask really quick. Where can you start? Ooh, by not being distracted by the shiny things, not being distracted by the things that glitter that maybe aren't necessarily the things that you want. What I like to think about with this card is, what am I being attracted to that I think I want that I might not actually want? What is it that might not actually make me happy that I'm trying to go after? So I think they're like, to me, Carolyn, it feels like a real like, let's check your course. Like what are your intentions? Like what are you trying to go after? And maybe it's as simple as just having one little meditation on it or journaling about it, and you feel like you're kind of reset and back on that direction. I don't feel like it's like a huge big thing, like you're super off track. I just want to give that that note there. Alrighty, thank you, Tara Lynn. All right, thank you, Jana. Okay, so we will do Jana, and then we will jump into New Year stuff, and then we will go back to individual readings. Hello, Karen, welcome. Sheesh, you're always dead on. Makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, and I always try to remember it's not me, it's the guides. I'm just a clean vessel. Hello, Karen. Yes, so we are going to do Jana really quick, and then I'm going to talk about the new year and kind of do like a little thing around that, and then we will go back to individual reading. So that might take a bit, but if you want to stick around, absolutely. All right, so Jana, may I have a general reading for my spirit guides, and also, is there any past loved ones that have wanted to speak to me? I get so distracted by that video that you shared of that guy. I almost wonder if he's still around a little bit. Because Jana shared a video. You guys can all join the group, the Facebook group that I have, if you're not already in it. And Jana shared a video, and I don't know. I just like when you asked about any past loved ones, I immediately got his energy again. So maybe I'll just start there. Because that's what I'm getting. Because I feel like, I don't know if I said it before, but I almost wonder if he's related to you. Because I know you said like he was like maybe a veteran or something, but I truly feel like he's related to you. It might be like many, many years. You might not actually be able to like trace it back. But, and I know that I said, I kind of felt like it was proximity, but I think it's almost a little bit of both. And he's probably sticking around because the message didn't get delivered all the way. I don't really want him to. That's okay. I will say none of your energy. If Jana does not like your energy, we will not entertain it. We'll talk to somebody else. All right. So general reading from your spirit guides. I'm getting like lots of planning energy, Jana. Okay. I've been thinking about doing like a channeling video where I just sit and try to channel and like just film myself and see what happens. But I'm really nervous to do it. But like I've never wanted to do that, but it's been like put in my head and I kind of feel like I need to do it. Just throwing that out there. I don't know why. I'm like very all over the place tonight, intuitively. Okay, so Jana. Okay, so I pulled the Three of Pentacles, which to me is kind of talking about like harmony and stability, especially in regards to like job, career, finances. And then with the Queen of Swords, this is sort of talking about sitting back and thinking about all the things that needs to happen in relation to that, thinking of all the ideas and the approaches and kind of the analytical, like lots of analytical energy tonight, very earth energy of like, how can I approach this and make plans to have more stability, more harmony, especially in job, career, finances, like the more logistical aspects of life. And what's being called for right now is really just, it's figuring it out. It's thinking about the ins and outs of it. And even, like bringing your intuition into it. The Queen is about both combining the analytical side and the intuitive side and really just going through all the different ideas, like really getting creative with how do I approach this situation in a way that maybe I haven't before. And I'm actually feeling like, to be pretty risky with this energy because I pulled, again, this full moon in Leo card, Go Wild. And so I feel like they're giving you permission when it comes to these things in life, like to you, it feels like really out of the box thinking, like, oh my gosh, that sounds risky. That sounds almost dangerous. But there's something about bringing your intuition in to the situation that I feel like you're going to trust, you're going to rely on. And it's actually going to be this good balance between the practical, analytical, and the intuitive side of things. And it's going to bring in that balance and that harmony more. All right, I'm dropping my cards. And I know I shouldn't remember readings, but I'm like specifically remembering the reading from, I don't know if it was like last week where you were asking about something with your husband. Like, I feel like it's like partly to do with that. Maybe it's not. Trust your gut there. And then I asked kind of like how you can start, like, what's the advice here? How can you deal with this energy? Again, very analytical. I pulled this card several times tonight. The thinker card is being analytical about it, but then it's about taking this like lion energy and just going with it. It's about making sure that you first start within the groundedness of it, but then going with where your gut is telling you to go to just make action happen. And I think, if you're worried and you're like, oh, I don't know if I know how to do things, that sounds a little risky. This is like the deep knowing card. We got 2 moons and an owl, and this is saying your intuition can be trusted on this situation. Like deep down, you know what to do about this. So you've got this great mix of both, having your intuition, having the analytical side. You've got it. If you need to think about it some more, do so you feel more secure, but just, take action on it. Because I feel like you might be asking, oh, maybe there's some more things that I need to figure out. This is really saying like you have everything at hand. So that was your first question. Any past loved ones that want to speak with me? Okay, and you're saying my mother's brother passed when he was a teenager. I was always curious about him. Okay. Mother's brother. I actually don't feel like there's a whole lot of attachment there. Oh, our candle just went out. Pause. Hang on. Our candle just went out. Oh, I do not know how I'm going to get that out of there. I'll have to figure that out, but I'm sure I can just kind of pry it out. Our candle just went out. I felt like that was a little bit longer than I would have expected. So again, sorry, switching gears here. I feel like with the length of this, again, it's nothing bad, but it feels like we're just kind of waiting around on the universe to do things for us. And if we're wanting things to manifest a little quicker, maybe we should just put in the energy to be like, hey, universe, I want to manifest this quicker. What energy do I need to throw at the situation? I want to meet you halfway. Instead of expecting the universe to do so much. But again, I'm going back to, right now, there's no rush. There's no urgency. It's totally okay if you don't like push. Because I feel like that's all of like what winter is about. It's about hibernating. It's about taking time off. And I feel like that's a little bit more important for us right now. But maybe it's something to bring in with the new year when we're feeling that energy and we're feeling ready to go again. So again, if you set rituals, if you set intentions for this, even if it's done burning, you can still send that my way. I'm setting the intention that it will still kind of resonate here and that it will be released to our guides. I'm just going to set that out of our, so we have more room. I was thinking about the topic channeling. Yeah, same. I wasn't ever taught on it. I've actually tried to find classes on it. Haven't had any success. And I keep asking my guides and they're like, just do it. And I'm like, but that sounds scary. And they're like, just do it. It's going to be easier than you think. And I'm like, maybe I'll do it by myself the first couple times. And it was funny too, because somebody in a reading brought a book to my reading called Seth Speaks. That's like a huge channeling book. There was this woman who channeled a spirit called Seth. And she wrote several books channeled by Seth. So they're like pretty popular in that kind of realm. So if you're really interested in channeling, it doesn't talk about channeling. It's literally the channeled message from this being. So it doesn't always make sense. But yeah. Anyway, sorry. So Jana, you wanted to talk to your mother's brother. And again, the energy that I was getting was like, I don't feel like he really feels attached to the family as much anymore. And that wouldn't surprise me with kind of like I wonder about him, but maybe you're not super like interested. I feel like he's kind of moved on, especially because he was released as like a teen. I'm still on the fence if like I believe in what a lot of people define as reincarnation. I believe in a very different kind of form of it. But it almost feels like he moved on to do other things, whether that was on that side, whether it was coming back. But I just don't feel like he's very attached to your family. And again, that's not like in a nasty or mean sort of way. It just feels like there's not a whole lot of like thinking about him, especially from your mother. You said it was your mother's brother, right? Yeah, which is surprising me because I feel like she would think about it more. But I feel like your mom is just kind of like, she's moved on from it. It's kind of done. It's just been so long in her mind, and I feel like she doesn't quite call him in, maybe because she doesn't believe it. And I kind of feel similar to the movie Coco in that sometimes when people just don't think about their relatives or just don't acknowledge them or call them in or think about connecting with them, I kind of feel like they move on. And it's not again, like a mean way or they're forgotten. It just feels like, oh, my business on earth is finished as that version of myself. And now I'm going to go to do other things. It doesn't mean we still can't connect, and I'm kind of just getting that energy from him. And like, I almost feel like he doesn't identify as that person anymore. But I'm just going to ask if there's anything that I might be missing with him. Yeah. I pulled the peace card. To me, that feels like pretty big closure. Interesting. I pulled the fork in the road card, and this just feels like, oh, hey, this is where I'm at. You don't need to worry about it, but I'm trying to decide here of what I want to do next. But he's like, ick to you. Like, it feels very like self-reflective, like, oh, you wanted to know about me? Oh, cool. Well, here's the energy. Don't worry about it, though. It's very interesting kind of talking to him. Let's see. Happy solstice, Karen. Hey, everyone. If you are jumping in and asking for a reading, kind of how we do our nights is if you donate, I will make sure that you get to the top of my list. Once I catch up on donations, we do guessing games. So Jana is the last one until I shift gears, but we are going to shift back into individual readings. So, sorry, I'm listening. I know you're fine. Even if you guys like disconnect, this recording is here. You can access it at any time. I think it was really painful for the family. Oh my gosh, he was electrocuted. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. And that's interesting because I feel like, and sometimes like if people try really hard to forget about it and move on, in a way it could just, there's a lot of closure on this side and there could be a lot of closure on the opposite side. And that's kind of like what I'm getting, if that makes sense. The prices, you can see those in the description down below. I just have like a $5 minimum. Anything more than that you donate, I'll just kind of go longer or pull more cards. So thank you, Jana, for your donation. I feel like I actually didn't give you as much time as everyone else, so I'm just going to ask if there's anything else with him. Oh, and I pulled Keep Your Heart Open. And so to me, there might be a connection between you and him that could absolutely still be there if you want to connect with him. It's again, not like he's done and he's like not interested in talking to anyone anymore. He might actually be like open to it, but I just feel like nobody's ever like called him up, if that makes sense. I do still do Venmo, yes. And I think it's One of these days I'm going to have it memorized. I think it's Lauren PSY. Right? And again, it's in the description if I'm ever distracted. Yeah, at Lauren PSY, Lauren with a Y. All right, so let's shift gears into the new year, and then we're going to go back to individual readings again, because we will not see each other until the new year. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. And again, I feel like the winter solstice is a little bit more important. But the crazy thing about the new year, well, I'll get into that in a second, but there's basically on January 2nd, a big super new moon, or not new moon, sorry, super full moon, right? And that's going to be like an important time for manifesting. But let's see if I can get this off my wall. So between now and the new year, I would encourage you guys to make goals for yourself. And even if you don't like the energy of making goals, because maybe it just makes you feel bad, makes you feel like, oh, I have to stick to it. What you can do instead is make a vision board, or even make a board of like things that I accomplished. And this is not a very good example, but I'm going to show you anyways. All right. So this is the vision board that I made for this year. And unfortunately, it's all black and white. So one of the things I am going to do is make sure that I update these with colored pictures so that they feel more vibrant. But you can just get a simple cork board like this and print out all the things that you want to manifest. And then I even have like little things written here. So this actually says learn astrology. And I have definitely done that so far. I'm not like completely finished. I don't think I'll ever be completely finished. But really, what I see about vision boards that really works is having both what you want to achieve and then what you have achieved. So then you can focus on the successes, focus on the abundance of like, gosh, look at all these things I do have, instead of throwing it away and then forgetting, oh my gosh, I manifested all those wonderful things. So I have like a lot of like fun little things on here, like shirts or crystals or rings that I really want. But I also have like energy of like places that I wanted to be. And so this is like just the energy of a new home that I wanted to manifest and what it might look like. This is like a place somewhere in like England or the English countryside that I was like, oh, I want to travel there. And then I just have like pictures of a bathtub, like pictures of what I envision my home to be. But I also filled it with things that make me feel good. So I don't know if you can see in this corner, but the smell after rain. Like when I think of that, there's like an instant visceral connection to that makes me feel good. Gosh, I didn't realize how much of these I've achieved. So Rena's tarot course, done. Check that off my list. Teach in-person classes. That's something I've started on. Probably won't happen till next year. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I also put affirmations on here. Everything is always working out for me. This is a little sparse. I'm going to spruce it up and I'll share it with you guys. But I just want you guys to at least see, like, it's not perfect, but you can do it. Is there anything else I wanted to say about this? Again, I think the bigger thing here with the vision boards is to try to remember to put things on it that make you feel good, so that when you look at it, you're just not seeing a bunch of lack. You're also seeing, oh, I manifested that. Oh, that thing makes me feel so good. And it's just important to reflect on your successes and the things that you did good so that you can sit in the energy of abundance and attract more of it. And even if you don't want to make a vision board, at the very simplest thing, again, you can pull out a piece of paper and just write down the things you want to release and the things that you want to welcome in for the new year. And I feel like even at that level, you can do it. And if you're not feeling motivated, you don't have to do it this year. You could do it in February. You could do it in March. You can do this anytime. I really don't necessarily like the idea of that. You have to hit the reset button at the end of December going to January. Especially because it's such a, again, like a hibernation time. It's winter. We're not necessarily in that energy of wanting to go, go, go yet. So do it when you feel called to do it. And that's just one thing I wanted to share, because I feel like a lot of people out there are like, set your New Year's goals, start January 1st. And it's like, do it when you feel called to, because if there's any guilt or negativity around it, you're just not going to feel motivated to do it, if that makes sense. Do you think the voice is related to me? I do think so. I don't think you're unsafe, though, Jana. I really don't. But again, like I said towards the beginning, you can say, I don't care who you are or if you're related to me. I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. That doesn't mean they're not going to still poke and prod me, just because I'm available. So you might have done that. You might have set those intentions, but they might just be trying to knock again on your door because I'm here, if that makes sense. I used to hide my astrology books. That's so funny. All right. I want to make a vision board too. I mean, you guys saw how crappy mine is. Like, you can just get it started. You don't even need a cork board. You could just like put pictures up on your wall, or you can go to the store and buy like a 99-cent journal and just make sure the first couple pages are like pictures. Or even if it's not pictures, you could just do written things. I think a little bit of both is helpful, because when you look at visuals, it kind of like jolts in your mind that, oh, this is what I'm thinking of. This is what I'm envisioning. Let's see. Was there anything else I wanted to say about that? Oh, yeah. And then if you do this over the new year, like, feel free to share it in our Facebook group. I'd love to see what you guys create. People get so creative with this. It's so cool. All right. Thank you, Karen. We will get to Karen right after we're done talking about New Year stuff. I'm hibernating bunny. Let me double check, Karen. I'm just assuming it did. Yes, it did. I got it. All right. So I just wanted to share that around making goals in general, because there's so much pressure right now to like make it happen. Literally what I'm going to do is I'm just going to update it with some color pictures. I'm just going to scan it and be like, oh, what do I want to add? And I'm probably just going to journal a little bit more about it. I'm eating and listening. Awesome. Thank you for being here. Let's see. And that was the other thing I was going to say. Yeah, investing in a journal for manifesting alone. I will say I've already bought this for next year. I'm going to be using it. I'm probably going to be talking about it a lot. And honestly, so like I have like so many journals, you guys. I'm ridiculous, but this is like my day-to-day journal where this is like the things I need to do around home. I'm like crazy about crossing things off and like getting all these things done. And then I have my work like agenda, which is like this paper. And then I wanted to have something else that was specifically kind of for manifesting, for spiritual work. And this has like journal days in it, so I can take notes of like what's going on in life. Maybe if I read a pick a card reading, I can put it in here. I can put it like way far out. But then what's cool about this journal is it tells you, oh, okay, the new moon in Gemini is going to happen next May. And here's what it means for you. And let's see, and here's some journal prompts of how to like actually work through it. So at the very least, you feel like somebody's just telling you what to do. And I don't know how many like times out of the year I just skip all of that work because I'm just too busy. So if you feel called to like doing this, maybe check it out. Was there anything else that I wanted to say? I just think this is so cool. And then I'm going to use it in tandem with her Moonology cards. So this is made by the same chick. I'm just really also into astrology right now. I'm trying to learn about it. That's just for me. And so I think this will help me just memorize the signs, the moons, kind of what's going on, and apply it to my practical life so that I can learn by like doing, if that makes sense. So at the very least, if you want to do something like that, I think it absolutely is helpful. And let's see. Okay. And I think the only other thing that I wanted to mention about the new year was if, you got New Year craziness going on, there is a new is it a new moon or a full moon? Apparently there's like not very many huge astrological like events going on next year, which is apparently a good thing because it's supposed to be a lot calmer. But one of the biggest ones happens like right at the beginning of the year, which is January 2nd. And I just wanted to give you this resource in case you didn't go out and buy this. And it's a super new moon in Capricorn. So this is perfect for the beginning of the year because it's a new moon. We're thinking about what we want to bring in, what we want to welcome. And the fact that it's in Capricorn as well is it's very practical. It's very grounded. It's very like money centered, job centered. So it's like the perfect time to set rituals, to set manifestation. So maybe if you haven't ever done a ritual before, you don't have to. Again, you can just go as simple as journaling, but I would encourage you to do something and just connect with the energy so that you can practice your intuition and also just, manifest some of the things that you want to manifest and see the difference between what is it like if I actually set out the time to do something versus if it's just passive and I'm not like actively doing something. And I think you'll notice a huge difference. And the only reason why I'm encouraging this is I do think it helps your psychic ability. When you're doing these things and you're trying to connect to your guides and you're trying to use your psychic abilities, I think you actually strengthen it a little bit more than just like not paying attention, not using your own psychic abilities to manifest anything. I hope that makes sense. Is there anything else I wanted? Oh, and so say you don't like any of these things. One of the things that you can do is you can write yourself a letter as if it's the end of 2022. And you can say, oh, wow, dear Lauren, what a fantastic year. I can't believe I accomplished this and that and that and this. And you accomplished this and you felt better about this. And you can kind of write it from the perspective of it's already happened. And that's just a great practice of, again, making affirmations and setting your intentions of things you want to welcome in. So if you want to do that, that's also just another thing you can do. I'm just giving you guys a bunch of like ideas so that you can move into these big kind of times of this year and feel like you have stuff to do, if that makes sense. Have a pink journal with a llama on it and a smug face that says no. That turned into a manifestation journal. That's so funny. Sorry, unknown. I'm not trying to ignore you, but I'm just sticking to my rules of when we read and when we don't read. So if you want to stick around, you might be able to get a free reading if I catch up on those donated readings. Favorite saying, Nike that shit, just do it. On my vision board. Love it. Hi, Jessica. Welcome. Astrology is awesome. Money centered, job centered. Yes, I know. I'm like, let's do it. I like the letter idea. Yeah, that one I read and I've heard it before and I was like, oh, that's fantastic because sometimes if we're not into the whole ritual thing, that's something that we can do. And then it's great because you can put it in the end of your journal. And then at the end of the year, you can open it back up and be like, holy crap, I totally manifested a lot of this. Or maybe you didn't. I don't know. It's just a fun affirmation thing to do. Let's see. All right. I feel like instead of doing a pick a card, I'm just going to do a general reading for everybody about the new year, just to kind of not be on for too long. So in regards to the new year, I'm just going to ask for the group as a whole, both live and replay. What do we need to know about just the new year? Like, right, that beginning energy, like right around that time. Not the year as a whole, but like a couple weeks from now. Ooh, I love this. Okay. The first thing that's coming through that's important for us to know is that we are unfinished symphonies. We are not going to be complete and perfect by the end of the year, even by 2 days into the year. You are always growing, you are always learning. And so maybe for some of us, we just need to remember that so we can take the pressure off of ourselves. And so we can just, it's almost like the energy of just lowering the unrealistic standards is what I'm hearing. And then I'm loving that this card came out. Treasure Island. This is about focusing on your abundance. So make sure that when the new year comes around, you're not just focused on all the lack, on all the things that you don't have. Focus on the things that are good. So to me, this is like a really big call to, and I forgot to say that, and that's probably why this card came out, is because I had it written down and I forgot to mention it. A lot of the times when we go into the new year, we're just focusing on the new year. Let's take stock of the past. What were our successes of this year? What were the great moments of this year? Like, make sure you do that first. Like, say thank you for all of those amazing things that did happen that year. You know, if you even need to write it out and put it on your vision board of like, 2021 wasn't all that bad. You know, like I got all these things, or I did all these things. These were my successes. Focus on the abundance, because when you sit in the energy of abundance, you end up attracting the abundance a lot better. Versus if you're just thinking about what you don't have, again, that's not the most helpful manifestation energy to be in. And then the third card that I pulled is being an observer. So to me, this energy feels like not necessarily trying to control everything around the new year, maybe around your intentions, and maybe also asking your guides for input. I think that's what it is, of like, hey, what do you suggest I focus on? You know, we have our agenda, we have our biases. We're like, this is what I want. I want A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. But I think our guides are saying like, hey, we have some suggestions too. Like, you know, pay attention, use your intuition, be an observer to what we might have to say about it. I think that's what's coming through with this card. And then let me pull one more. This is specifically the moon manifestation cards just for the new year. Breathe through the tension. So I think this is also like, I'm just so claircognizant tonight. I think that's why I'm going so fast. I'm just getting things like, it's coming faster than I can speak. I need to remember that I can chill the F out. Always put a fish in your house. What? I missed that. So breathe through the tension. This to me is saying that like sometimes New Year comes around and you don't feel perfect. You don't feel 100% okay. You might be feeling pretty crappy after the holidays, but that doesn't mean it's going to screw up your intentions. It doesn't mean it's going to screw up everything that's going to happen. Breathe through the hard parts and focus on the good stuff. Ooh, I love that. I think those were all really good reminders from us. And I think it all kind of comes down to like, we put so much expectation on the new year and like, oh, we need to be perfect right away. And sometimes that's just a lot for us. And then we get down on it. Again, we focus on the lack, and that's what we need to avoid. You've been seeing a lot. 5-5. Ooh, yeah. 5-5. I would say 5s are about change and challenge. I don't mean to be offensive of this, but are you also a medium or both? Heck yes, Jessica. I made a whole video on that. What's the difference between a psychic and a medium? Short answer. Short answer. Lauren's bad at short answers. Psychics are people that can use their clairs and tune into a question and give you an answer using their psychic abilities. So this could be about relationships. This could be about career, home life, your goals, your dreams, your hopes. Mediums are people who can talk to those who have crossed over, so those who have passed away. So some psychics don't want to talk to dead people. They're not interested in that, and so they won't do that at all. You kind of have to have a little bit of extra knowledge as a medium of knowing how to set boundaries, knowing how to talk to spirits. So often people who are mediums are also psychics, but it's not the other way around. Just because you're psychic does not always mean you are a medium. I hope that makes sense. If you're still confused, I have a whole video on it. I think it's in my Start Here playlist, which might be good for anyone else who is new here. This is a cool, low-key low-key group, fun to learn with and from. Oh, thank you, Michael. I'm a psychic, a medium, also an animal communicator, medical intuitive. I do shamanic practices. I do Reiki. I'm a little bit of everything. Throws fairy dust everywhere. Thank you, Silly Rabbit. All right, Lauren, what about if you're seeing your birthday 11/11 and 222 a lot? Gosh, I just need to make a video on that because I get that question so much. Again, it's all about your guides and how they talk to you, because 11/11 might mean one thing to me and it might mean something totally different to you. So you kind of have to ask in the moment, what does 555 mean? What does that mean? What does 11/11 mean? And you also have to kind of have an awareness of what's going on around you. Because if you're seeing something and every time you're seeing it, maybe you're like really anxious or stressed out about something that's going on in life, it's probably, in relation to that. I would say the quickest video to maybe get some more information on that is like, what's the video? It's something about like guides and symbols. I know symbols is in the title. If one is able to talk to their spirit guides, does that make them a medium? That's a good question, Marissa, because there will be a lot of people who kind of like get into weird spaces with that. And basically the whole thing behind that is like, is someone who is deceased on the same level as somebody who is a guide? And so I think that's technically true, but I think it's more about the omission of like people do not want to talk to people that are dead. To me, they don't seem any different than guides. They might have a little bit more of a bias. But to me, I honestly kind of see them as just another type of being. So I kind of agree with that. But I think some people have a lot of preconceived notions about what spirits are, about what ghosts are. And so because they're afraid and because of what Hollywood and movies tell us about what spirits are, a lot of people will say no to being a medium, if that makes sense. I technically believe that they could easily talk to people. I feel like you really just need to know a little bit more information to be a medium, honestly. I don't feel like it's adding too much, but knowledge-wise. Hey guys, sorry. So if you're jumping in, we have a lot of new people. I'm jumping back to individual readings now. If you donate, you kind of get bumped to the top. I have the information for donating in the description down below. You can donate through Super Chat. You can donate through Venmo. Karen is first. And then if we catch up on donations, we do free guessing game readings. I'm probably not going to do too many more because I feel winded. I've been talking so much and we've been on for a long time. And I know tonight I kind of dedicated a little bit more towards teaching instead of readings, but that's the plan. I really hope I can learn to be psychic and a medium someday as long as I'm safe. I think you can. That is my whole goal of my channel, is to give you guys those resources. Hi, Kara. Hi, Kelly. I like your pigtails. Thank you, Kara. Love this, Lauren. Thank you, Karen. Is it possible to become a medium or have to be born with the ability? Oh, Jessica, you have found the right channel. Short answer, you do not have to be born with it. I'm literally going to make like a video on that because that is like one of the most searched keywords out there is like born psychic or learned psychic. And apparently a lot of people search that. So I want to be like that top video that you find to be like, you can learn how to be psychic. And basically, Jessica, check out the video. I think, I don't know if it's my kind of channel trailer or like, how do you know if you're psychic? I get them all mixed up. I've made so many videos, but basically I talk about how everyone is psychic. It's a spectrum. It's a muscle that you can learn to strengthen. And it's just a matter of strengthening that muscle. If you don't go to the gym and you don't work out, it's not going to work. But everyone has that ability. I am a perfect example of that. I didn't learn how to do this until about 7 years ago. Up until then, I had no practice, but I did it just fine. Let's see. All right, Karen, sorry. Thank you. Karen, where did you leave your question? Did you put it in Venmo? Or did you put it way forever ago in the chat? Let me know, Karen. I could try to look for it really quick. Oh, here it is. Question is, any messages from past family or friends? Any messages from my guardian angels or spirit guides? All right. I will open it up to anyone, whoever comes through the most strong. I'm immediately feeling like it's family members who have passed. Definitely like a female figure who's coming through. I think it's like a mom or grandma. Now that I'm remembering it during our private reading, it's whoever we were talking to then. The one who was mad, or that wanted you to put your picture up. Or her picture up. That's who's coming through. She's got strong energy. What do we have to say? I think she's worried about you, Karen, in the sense of like, I just feel like you haven't been totally like at peace with yourself. I feel like it's something to do with like the holiday time. I feel like I vaguely remember you asking me about that. I get so many people chatting with me. It's hard and I mix it all up, so I apologize. But I feel like she really is urging you to have some peace and not to have such high expectations. Especially because I also pulled the Imagine card. And to me, this is like a feeling of like, set your expectations higher, set your hopes and dreams higher. And when you do that, excuse me, gosh, I'm already losing my voice. I think, unfortunately, guys, I'm probably only going to do 2 more readings after this. That's what my guys are telling me now is like, that's all I've got capacity for, unfortunately. Let's see. So the Imagine card is, again, about setting your dreams and your expectations higher. Like, I feel like the opposite is very like small thinking. Like right now, you're looking at your life in this situation as very like small and little and, oh, I can only have so much. And she's really encouraging you to think bigger. Like, how could we make this into something that would really make you happy? And I think you're so stuck on like what it should be or what it could have been that you're not opening yourself up to all the possibilities. So I was just going to start with those cards to kind of get the ball rolling. And I'm just going to ask her if there's anything else. She's also telling me like it won't be like this forever. There's a possibility that it can change. There's a possibility that he can come around, because I know we've talked about your son before. So even in that sense, having a totally open mind about what it could look like, but again, letting go of what you thought it would look like. It's like this weird balance of like trying to not fit it into like this perfect vision, but also understanding that it could still happen maybe, but yeah. It's almost like, what does Karen want? Like, she keeps giving me this image of you like on a boat, like on a cruise, like go take a cruise. Like, think about what this time could be for you now that it's a little bit more open. I think she just wants you to have that bigger picture thinking. Take a breather. I just feel like I pulled this card for everyone. And with the take a breather card, it's very much about like, just do things a little differently this year. Oh, you should even say that. Mom, restless about no contact with son. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the comments. I'll just watch all your videos. Just watch them all, Jessica. No, that's not what I mean, but I'm sorry. I just can't remember them all. There's too many. Thank you, Yurika. Always helping out. Yes. Yes, thank you, Jessica. Let me know what your question is. I know you've put it up before, but bigger picture. Okay, one more card for Karen really quick because Karen donated a little bit more on Venmo. Oh, I said, how can you approach the situation? It's all about like gratitude. Again, taking stock of what is good in your life. See this happy dude and all the cups he has around him? Like, again, you're focused on the cups that you don't have. Focus on the cups that are full or filling them, and if they're not full. And take stock of what is good in your life. And I really feel like Mom is just trying to change your mindset. Like, this isn't going to change the outcome necessarily, but if you can start with the mindset, things will feel a lot better. But thank you for the donation, Karen. Don't make that sound in the wood. I have no idea what she's talking about. I've been having ear ringing too at random times. Yeah, ear ringing can totally be like non-intuitive or intuitive. 100%. Okay, shall do. Yes. Thank you, Karen. All right, Jessica, was there someone in particular you wanted to talk to? Oh, I forgot about my squeaky wheel, you guys. I just now remembered. Need to fix that. I don't know. Ask, I guess, a family member in spirit. You just want to chat with somebody in spirit? Okay. Yes. Okay. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to ask for Jessica, any spirit that wants to come in and communicate with her to please do so. And I kind of just go with the one that has the strongest energy. And it's always interesting because it feels like a shuffling. And I get like someone trying to step forward, but then somebody kind of like outpowers them. I'm getting like a younger male energy. Like it almost feels like a cousin or a brother, but I don't feel like this is necessarily somebody you might have known in this life. They could have even been like, you know, your grandmother's brother. Sometimes when they come across as a certain age, that doesn't mean they died at that age. Sometimes it's like how they best see themselves. Sounds like my mom is reading my mind, as moms do. My son, probably, if that's what you're feeling. Because I'm definitely getting like a young male energy coming across as like a teenager. I'll give you what I'm getting, and if it resonates as your son, you know, take that intuition. I try not to like fish for the answer. I just say what I'm getting, and it might be somebody else. He was 2 months old. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jessica. Like, I want to say it's him, but I'm not getting like a total confirmation. Yes. It feels like, because I'm seeing like a teen energy. Oh, it's confusing because it also feels like a little bit like past life. Like they might have been in your life before in a different way. But I think the overall message that's kind of coming through is like, I would have had a hard life, or I did have a hard life before. I'm leaning more towards that of like, I had a hard life before, and for some reason that's affecting how he came into your life this time. Like that's why it was so short. He's wanting me to ask why. Like why did it happen in this way? I think it's the same being. I think it's your son on some level, but it's almost like he's speaking to me as if he's a different person, like as if he's a previous version that you knew. Interesting. So I got the 3 of Wands and the 4. So this like imagery of like sleeping, resting. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. It doesn't make sense. I feel like I don't have all the pieces, but I'm going to give you what I have. And it feels like Like, I mean, in a way, this kind of looks like someone who has died, but this card is also about like resting and taking a break. So to me, why this happened, why you lost him so early is because there was a break that was needed. He maybe did not need to live out in this lifetime in this way with you. He needed to more rest. Recuperate is the word I'm hearing on that other side, especially with this card. It's like a reassessment, a reevaluation of what do I want to do? Like, where do I want to go? This is somebody who's looking out to the horizon and making plans. And I feel like he didn't quite have that coming into this life. He wanted to come in for you, but he didn't quite understand what he was coming in for himself for. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of crazy. If I'm not making sense, Jessica, like what it feels like is the past version of him, like the version of him that you might have known in another life. That's the one who's talking to me. And he was saying, I wanted to come into this life, but I wasn't quite ready. I wanted to come for you, but I realized actually I wasn't quite ready. I need to kind of take a break and ruminate on things, figure out where I do want to go and what I do want to do before I just jump back into it. And it feels confusing on our end because you're like, well, now I have to go a whole lifetime without you. But in his mind, it's like, oh no, we'll see each other soon. Like, we're going to do this again. Like, that's the vibe that I'm getting from him, Jessica. I hope that resonates and I hope that makes sense. Is it too late to clarify it was my granny or my mom? I'm confused a little, maybe both. I talked to my mom all day. Yeah, I'm leaning more towards mom because I was just asking mom or grandma, and I think your mom was like, no, it was me. She's like raising her hand. Hi, cutie pie. Thank you. All right, so I think I said Karen, Jessica, and then I think I said one more, but I don't think anyone donated, did they? Yeah, okay. So our very last reading is open for a free guessing game. Woohoo! So this guessing game, whoever guesses what I am thinking of will get this reading. I don't understand these like trolling comments because like I wonder if it's a bot because I get those like comments, the VASF tech. I get those as like normal comments, but they're like links. So it's like trying to do it in the chat, but it's not coming up as a link. I don't know. It's weird. All right. So guessing game. If you can guess what I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. I am thinking of, that's too easy. I am thinking of a color. That's also easy. But if you can think of the color that I'm thinking of, then you will get the last reading of the night. Yay, guessing game. I know. I set the intention we were going to do 3 and no one had donated. So I think it's perfect timing. Thank you, Karen. And I will say, for those of you who do talk to me more, I tend to remember some of that stuff a little bit easier. Shoot. How has no one gotten it yet? I'll double check. Oh gosh, I'm behind. Seriously? I'm going to double check to make sure I didn't. Oh, sage green. Kelly, I'll count that. I was thinking of green, but let me just double check no one else said green. White, blue, purple, yellow, orange. I'm looking for green, 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 green. Purple. Sage green. Yeah, Kelly, you were the first one. Green. I was thinking of Christmas trees. So Kelly G, let me know what question you have. And for the rest of you guys, just know that I'm on usually every Tuesday night, so you can subscribe, come back, and you can try again. I also do private readings. My cheapest reading is only $35, and that is like a recorded reading. So you can send me your questions. I'll answer them. I will send you an email back of like my voice recording, and that is one way that you guys can get a reading from me if you're feeling like you really need something. So that is the last one for tonight. For the rest of you guys, if you want to stick around afterwards, I always stay on a little bit longer to kind of like decompress, answer your non-psychic related questions. So Kelly will be our last one for tonight. Thank you. Yeah. And again, like the memory thing, I don't want to pretend to be like the super connected, like psychic, because sometimes there are times where, I'm talking to you guys a lot. So I do just like legit remember. Whereas there's some people that just pop in for like a single reading and, then they see me again a year later. It's a lot harder to remember, versus people I see every single week, that's different. It is, Marissa, and I forget to say that. Part of why I do that is, one, it leaves it open to whoever needs it most, and two, it tests your guys' psychic ability. So I'm sending out an image. I was sending out the color green. I was even sending it as like a Christmas tree to you guys, and it tests your psychic abilities. Woo! Well, why is my cat Ginger so vocal? Ginger! Okay. That's so funny. She's a red cat, right? I just got like the impression, I feel like I saw it on TikTok, the impression of like, why are all orange cats like obnoxious? And like, that was the immediate download of how my guides are communicating to me. They're showing me like a TikTok that I saw. And so I'm asking, okay, what does that mean? And really, there's no meaning there other than she's just like very vocal. And I feel like maybe it's her breed or maybe it's her coloring. Probably not so much. I just feel like I'm like seeing a dice roll of like, it's the cat that you got, that she just happened to be a more vocal cat. That's the way my cat is. I feel like, Kelly, you also talk to her and she does that back. I don't feel like there's any higher meaning in it other than she's just maybe a vocal breed. What an adorable question. Let me see, though. I'll pull some cards and ask if there's anything else. Because I did ask, is there something there of like she wants to communicate with you? And like, it's like, yeah, sometimes, but mostly it's just to be heard. She's just like, I like to sing to hear my own voice. Thank you, Eureka. I would have asked, why did my bunny suddenly sit in the middle of the door? LOL, Ginger. Yes, it's a he. Oh, okay. Let me still pull if there's anything that I'm missing. Like, I was really getting like no higher meaning than that. Like, funny joke is like how they were portraying it to me. Interesting. I pulled the never ending story card. Okay. And I think what this is saying is like, the only reason why you feel like there's something more there with your cat is because you've told yourself the story that, oh, maybe she's vocal because she's trying to say something, or maybe she's vocal because she's X or Y or Z. It's almost like you're sort of perpetuating that a little bit. And a lot of that happens a lot with our pets. Like, we believe certain things about them, and so we sort of project it on them unless we know otherwise. I sing the song of my people. You guys are too funny. So much conversation between us. It's kind of sweet. I mean, that's the other thing is like, I've seen people that like don't talk with their pets at all. They just kind of like touch a lot. And I find that those types of animals are not as vocal, but there's people who will like talk out loud to their pets. And I feel like those pets talk back. And it's funny too, because as an animal communicator, I'm talkative energetically to my pets, but I'm also talkative out loud to my pets. And I got the most vocal breeds out of like both cats and dogs. I got a husky who is just vocal AF. And then I have an Egyptian Mau and a Savannah cat, and both of them are very vocal. So our house is very chatty all the time. And even so that my son, who is now a year and a half, copies the cats, and I'll even be like, meow, meow, and my son is like, meow, and he does it. No, it's not even like that. He's so off. It's like, his meow is very scary, but it's adorable. You have a Russian blue? Oh, I wanted a Russian blue, but I could not convince my husband on that one. Maybe he wants a friend. Ooh. I just really want to make sure my mom is safe. Sorry, I am done for tonight. I'm sorry. If you really absolutely have to reach out to me, feel free to do so through my website, but I've been on for 2 hours now, and I just kind of need to cut it off, or else I'm not going to give the best ratings. I used to have a Bengal cat that would steal my grandma's bra and put it under my bed. Cats are so weird. Cats are so weird. I will say, on the subject of cats, I took my Savannah cat to the vet today, and I'm so excited because she's officially in remission. You guys probably don't care, but she's in remission from diabetes, which is huge. So we found out like a month ago that she has diabetes. She lost a ton of weight. She was drinking like crazy, peeing like a ton because she was drinking so much. And it was kind of scary because it was like, oh my gosh, am I going to have to give my cat insulin? So we basically had to put her on a diet change, but we got her into remission within a month off of diet alone. So I'm so happy. And I'm so proud of her too, because I also went and saw an animal communicator about this. And she was like, she very much helped me in my confidence around the situation, because she said, your cat is confident. She wants to try. She's hopeful. She's, wanting to try the diet change and, be better about it. And she's willing and hopeful. And I kind of doubted it when I heard it. I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know if she really wants to change. But then, came to it today, test results showed, and she did amazing. Like, she's self-regulating, if that makes sense. So I'm super excited. Little announcement for me, huge weight off my shoulders. Obviously, with a cat with diabetes, it's always going to be there. I'm always going to have to watch out for it. But at least I'm not having to give my cat insulin right now, because that's a huge expense. And scary to give shots to your cat. I didn't even know that was a thing. I mean, it makes sense, but my grandma would be so mad, but it was hilarious. That's so funny. Bengals are very similar. Everyone thinks I have a Bengal, but he's a Savannah, and they're a little bit different, but they look very similar. Thank you, Yurika. You're awesome. Oh yeah, breeding can definitely be an issue with animals like that. Thank you, FRM. Thanks for popping in and saying hi. She is doing better. And they said she didn't lose any more weight. And she's, again, self-regulating, and her blood sugar levels are down significantly. She was at 500, and now she's at 360 some. And I can't remember what the range is, but she's very close back to that range. And I think why she's not quite there yet is because she, a couple days ago, ate my dog's food, and I totally missed it. And I was in the same room, and we had accidentally left the dog food out. So she had gotten to it, and she was totally pigging out, and she knew she wasn't supposed to. And so instead of chewing the food, she was swallowing it whole so that we couldn't hear her crunching. She probably ate that entire dog food bowl. And I was like, no, Sarabi. And so I was joking with the vet. I was like, that's probably why it's not totally down. But even then, the doctors were like, this is big. They weren't even worried about having her come check again. They're like, come see us in 6 months. She's good for now. So I'm so excited. And the reason why I'm saying this too is just to say how helpful it is to go see, I still need this, how helpful it is to go see animal communicators sometimes, even if it's just to help you feel a little bit optimistic about the situation. Sweet Cat saw on Insta. Yeah, I want to post some more of that personal stuff, but I did put a video of her on Instagram right after we found out. And she was arguing with me about her lack of food. My Russian blue won't gain weight. I tried to change the diet to grain-free, but still seems skinny. Oh no. I hope you can figure that one out. Oh my. I'm glad that entertained you. That was a side note, but huge success for me today. It changed my day. I was so happy about it. And I was like, thank you, winter solstice. Thank you, full moon. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I don't know. I want to stay on longer, but I kind of have to pee. So I might be jumping off. You guys can catch me next time. I will see you after the full moon, or not, after the new year, which is crazy. I want to say it's the first Tuesday of the new year. So we will see each other. And again, I now have this on my website. So I actually have all the exact dates listed out. So I believe it will be not December, January 4th that we will be together again. So we'll talk about your New Year's resolutions. We'll talk about how all of it went down. Merry Christmas to you guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic time. Take a break, get away from toxic people if you need to, do what you got to do. And still stay connected to me on Facebook, Instagram. Again, if you're not in our group, feel free to join. That's where we chat a lot of times when we are not having our live nights. If you're new, feel free to subscribe. This week's video is going to be a meditation, it sounds like. And next week's video is going to be our 2022 pick a card reading. And then we will be back with a new year with all sorts of new stuff. So I think that's it, you guys. Thank you so much. Happy Christmas, happy holidays, happy Yule, and happy New Year. This is always such a crazy time of the year. Great ritual earlier. Thank you. I felt like it was a little rushed, but I wanted to kind of show you guys what it looked like in case you want to do it on your own time. Because I'm going to go and I'm going to take these and go spread them outside in the river that's behind my house and kind of wrap up, kind of finish it. But you guys can go release anything more, think about things more, even pull your own tarot cards to get further information on the winter solstice, on the new year, whatever you feel called to do. Happy New Year. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I will see you, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Feels like so long. All right. Happy solstice. Merry Christmas. All right, you guys. Good night. Good night. I will see you next time.